And as you might remember, this week is all about learning how we can make our communities better. And first of all, I want to thank you guys because you've already made your communities better by helping out earlier this week. I really enjoyed hearing about what you did to help out people in your family when they needed it. Some people, they said they washed the dishes. Some people took the dog out. Some people took the trash out. I heard someone helped their friend when their friend was being bullied. And so many other inspiring things that you guys really made a difference already. So the plan for today is to learn about a couple people from history that are examples of people who really made their communities better. One is Rosa Parks, and the next one is Clara Barton. And you're going to learn the stories of these two women who made their communities better, why they were good citizens, and next class you're going to learn about two other people, and you're going to pick out of those four people that we're going to hear the stories from, and pick the one that inspires you the most. And once you pick the person that inspires you the most, we are going to find a way to thank them all these years later and remember them for the good work that they did to make our community what it is today. So let's get learning. Let's learn about these stories and see how we can become better citizens by learning from the best. Hello, my friends. Today we're going to be reading about making communities better. How do people improve their communities? And here's the introduction. Our communities bring us many good things. They are full of diverse people and interesting places. But communities have problems too. And when people see these problems, they can help solve them. Every person has a chance to improve their community, and just one person can make a big difference. In this lesson, you're going to learn why helping improve your community is an important part of being a good citizen. And you will also learn how improving your community benefits everyone who lives in it. You will also read about two people who set out, actually it says 5 here. We're going to do 2 today and 2 tomorrow. So today you're going to read about 2 people who set out to solve their problems, in their communities. And other people did not always like what these 2 people did at first. But in the end, these people each made a town or city a better place to live. And their work also helps people in many other places. So what problems do you see in your community? And now we're going to learn a little bit about good citizenship. And remember, this is important because we go to a citizenship school. So we should all try to have good citizenship. Good citizens help their community. You are part of a community in the United States, and it is important that you help out your community. This is part of good citizenship. All people in our country should practice good citizenship. There are many things you can do every day to be a good citizen. You should treat everyone around you with respect, and no matter how they look or act, all your classmates are equals, and you must treat them in this way at all times. The United States has laws that you have to follow, and these laws tell you that you cannot steal or try to hurt other people. If you see someone breaking the law, it is your job either to stop them or to tell someone else. And as you grow older, you will gain more responsibilities. One day, you may have a family to support, and for this reason, you should work hard in school. When you get a job, you should do your best at it. And one day, you will also be allowed to vote. Voting is another way to contribute to the community. You should do your part in keeping the common good. The common good is what is best for everyone in your community. Keeping your community clean is one example of contributing to the common good. When someone litters, everyone is affected. These are some of the things that all people of the United States have a responsibility to do. But some people go above and beyond these duties to make their community a better place. You will read about, again, we're going to do 2 people today, who practiced excellent citizenship. And here is the story of Rosa Parks. And this story is titled Rosa Parks Fights to Change an Unfair Law. Rosa Parks was an African American woman. In 1955, she lived in the community of Montgomery, Alabama. At that time, Montgomery had segregation laws. Segregation means separating people from one another. And the segregation laws in Montgomery separated African Americans from whites. African Americans and whites had to use different restaurants, bathrooms, and even water fountains. When African Americans rode public buses, they had to sit in the back. And many places in the United States, especially in the South, had laws like this. On the night of December 1st, 1955, Rosa headed home from work on a city bus, and she was very tired. She sat down on a seat in the middle of the bus. When a white man got on the bus driver told Rosa to move to the back. That was what the law said. Rosa thought that this was unfair, and she refused to give up her seat. The bus driver called the police, and Rosa was arrested for breaking the segregation law. "Why do you push us around?" Rosa asked the police officer. "I do not know," said the officer, "but the law is the law, and you are under arrest." Rosa's arrest made African Americans in Montgomery very angry, and they decided to boycott the public buses. And here's a vocabulary word. To boycott means to refuse to use or to buy something. People walked or shared cars instead of riding the bus. Meanwhile, Rosa went to court to try to get the law changed, and the case went all the way up to the top court in the country, the United States Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said that segregating people on public buses was unfair and went against the United States Constitution. All Americans, the court said, had the right to sit anywhere on a public bus. Rosa Parks made a big difference. And because of her brave action, the laws were changed in Montgomery and in communities all across the country. In this way, Rosa Parks helped bring about more equality for all Americans. Alright, so you just heard the basic story of why Rosa Parks is so important in our community's history. And one thing that I noticed that I was a little confused about at your age was the idea that we know as good citizens we're supposed to follow the laws, and we're supposed to help other people follow the laws. We actually just read about that. But then, when we read Rosa Parks' story, it turns out that she actually broke a law in order to make a point. So, which one of those two things is right? So it turns out in that situation that both ideas have parts of them which are right. Yes, most of the time, and for most of the laws, we should follow them as good citizens. And we should make sure that our friends and other people that we know follow them too. But there are exceptions to this rule, and this is what Rosa Parks is so famous for. She knew that that law that stated that African Americans had to stay on the back of public buses while white people could stay in the front, that really wasn't a fair thing. And so she did something really powerful, and she peacefully broke that law. She didn't hurt anyone, she didn't break anything, but she made a point that she was going to break that law and that she was going to get arrested because she thought it was wrong. That's why the story of Rosa Parks is so powerful, because she was able to change the law by breaking the law, and that's called civil disobedience. There are a couple really important examples of that in our history, but Rosa Parks used that strategy very effectively, and that's why she's so famous and so brave. All right, and here's the second person we're going to learn about today in addition to Rosa Parks, and her name is Clara Barton. Clara Barton helps soldiers. From early in her life, Clara Barton wanted to help others, and when her brother suffered a severe injury after falling from a roof, she cared for him. In 1838, when she was a teenager, Barton began teaching at a Massachusetts schoolhouse. Most of the teachers at this time were men, but Barton was very good at teaching. And she opened a free school so that kids who could not afford other schools could get an education. And within just a year, the school had grown to 600 students. That's bigger than our school, under Barton's direction. But because she was a woman, the school board did not hire her as the head of the school. This did not slow Barton's desire to help people. And when the Civil War began, Barton was able to help. Her father had been part of the military and had encouraged her to care for soldiers during the war. At first, she gathered medical supplies and treated soldiers returning from the battlefield. But where she really wanted to be was on the front lines. Very few women went near the battlefields, but this did not stop Barton. When she got there, she did whatever she could to help out, and she cleaned hospitals, cared for soldiers, and even risked her life coming to the aid of wounded soldiers. Soldiers called her the Angel of the Battlefield. After the war, Barton continued her service to the communities around her, and she founded the American Red Cross, which helped people after disasters like floods or fires. She was the organization's first president. And you may have heard of the Red Cross. That's because the American Red Cross still helps people all over the country. And here's a picture of what an American Red Cross truck might look like today. So that story was pretty cool too. Some reasons why you might really like and be inspired by Clara Barton. One is that she did not let discrimination or people telling her that she couldn't do something stop her from helping people. She decided that even though that she was a woman and people didn't think that she could go to the battlefield and help all those people, she did it anyway. And she did a very good job of that. So that's a good lesson that we can draw from Clara Barton. Don't let people tell you that you can't do something if you really want to help. You shouldn't let people tell you that you're not smart enough, or that your skin's not the right color, or that you're a girl or a boy so you can't do something. If you really want to help people and you have a dream of how to make your community better, you can follow it. And Clara Barton's a really good example of how doing that can really help people. And she saved a lot of lives, it sounds like, on the battlefield during the Civil War because of that determination and that willingness to not let people tell her no. So I hope we can remember the stories of Rosa Parks and Clara Barton today and keep those in our minds as we go on in this week, because we're going to learn about two other very important people who really made their communities better and are examples of excellent citizens that we can learn from. So come back here tomorrow. We'll discuss two more stories, and then we're going to do a small project to thank and honor and remember these important people from our past and try to remember how they can help us make better decisions and make our community better today. Have an awesome day, and I will see you here again tomorrow. Bye-bye.